What probability of being authentic do the clothes, the Sudarium of Oviedo and the Shroud of Turin? That is, how likely is it to have involved the body of Christ and to contain his blood? To know this, it is not necessary to be a genius, nor a great scientist. Just a little common sense and logic. John chapter 20 verse 3. Peter and the other disciple, John, ran towards the tomb. The other disciple ran faster than Peter and got there first. He leaned down to see into the tomb, and saw the bandages, but did not go inside. Shortly after, Simon Peter arrived, and entered the tomb. He also saw the bandages, and also saw that the cloth that had been used to wrap Jesus' head was no longer with the bandages, but had been rolled up and put aside. Then the other disciple entered the tomb. When he saw what had happened, he believed. We have the first fact narrated in the Gospel. It is written that the shroud and the sudarium existed. We have the second fact. In 2000 years we only have a shroud and a sudarium. There are no several shrouds or several sudariums. This second fact shows that no one in 2000 years has been able to make copies of the shroud and the sudarium. The sudarium only has bloodstains. But there is only one in the world recognized as the sudarium of the head of Christ. If the Shroud of Turin only had blood, without a miraculous image, there would still only be one in the world. Let's apply the math. Imagine there were 100 possible sudariums of Christ. The probability that the Sudarium of Oviedo was authentic would be 1/100, 1%, that is. The probability of being false would be 99/100, 99%. Lots of chances to be fake. If there were 50 possible sudariums, the probability of authenticity of the Oviedo's sudarium would increase to 1/50, 2%, and its probability of being false would be reduced to 49/50, 98%. If there were 2 possible sudariums, their probability of authenticity would be 1/2, 50%, and that of falsehood would also be 50%. However, we only have one sudarium, therefore its authenticity probability is 1/1, that is to say 1, that is to say 100%, and its probability of being false is 0/1, that is to say, 0. That is to say 0%. The same reasoning can be applied to the Shroud of Turin, even though there was no image on it. Since there is only one, its probability of being the authentic one is 100%. If the shroud and the sudarium existed, only these 2 pieces must exist, and only these 2 pieces can exist, no more. Evidently, Peter and John collected the cloths for containing the sacred blood of Christ, and evidently the Christians kept them these last 2000 years, and there are no other shrouds or other sudariums. In theory, it would be easy to make a fake sudarium out of fake blood, and yet there is only one sudarium in the world. So if there is a single shroud and a single sudarium, and not several, the probability of its authenticity is absolute. Conclusion: both are authentic, with the authentic blood of Christ, with absolute certainty.